In most organisations, you can gain a lot of efficiencies by going to a one system and eliminating a lot of paper-based orientated workflows and feeding them back into a mobile workflow, back to like the one system, if you like. One of the key things that we do here is we actually look at integrations and how we actually tie things together to get the more benefit out of the systems. A really good example of that is, for example, GPS and IoT information. Look, we have many GPS devices and IoT, including padlocks and things like that. But one of the things we do have is GPS tracking on vehicles. Now, you might have a fleet of vehicles and you want to understand where they are, and if you want to charge out per kilometre, we can do that as well. But most importantly, there's the maintenance of that as well. So we can actually track the vehicle and work out the distance it's travelled, and we can actually feed that information back into our IC information, which is our integration core. We can push that up into our integrated management system, which is a connection integrated management system, and then we can actually then push that information into an invoice within this system, and then we can push that out to one of our third-party applications for integration into the accounting system. And with inside integrations, we can always have best practice. That might be, for example, a consistency from field data. So you might have a team of in your business that are completing information forms, like for example, within really key information from the field data to actually go and build your customer. So in this example here, we have a connection integrated management system DB master up here, and then down the bottom here we have the slave databases as well. So anything pushed from here will be pushed down to the slaves. So we have a slave down here that we'll say is in New South Wales, this one particular one, and we are here in Vic. So you can actually centralise your billing with our system. So the information coming through from this database can actually feed up, go into our integration core, which then splits it down, that's what IC stands for, come into our master database, have the same person processing all the invoices for your company, and then we can then push that out into a third-party application in your accounting system. Using a system like ours allows forced workflow and consistent information coming through on the one system, which basically streamlines your processes and provides you best practice. So with a GPS and IoT, we can have real-time visibility over our staff, but also with mobile, we can also have real-time visibility. So we'll go into a couple of those examples today. The first one is GPS and IoT. So everybody's pretty familiar with GPS. We can put GPS trackers in vehicles and also equipment as well, being battery operated. And then we use IoT now as well. So that's the Internet of Things, which connects things together to let us know remotely if it's been engaged or not engaged, on or off. We do that a lot now, actually, like for example, with the new padlock we have. We can actually tell you in real-time visibility when that's been opened, by who, when, at their location, without even a key. They just come up and just tap that with their phone, which I'll show in another video later on. But for example, from here, we can feed this information from our GPS systems. We can push that into our integration core, and then that information can be pushed back out into our one integrated management system, giving you real-time visibility of your assets. If you were to charge them out, we can then push that invoice back into one of our partners of MyOb, Xero, Microsoft Nav, Viewpoint or SAP, and we're always adding to that integration core of third-party applications. Another example would be field data coming in. So you have a field operator over here on a separate database. Here, they'd be completing forms in real time coming back. See, it might be an extension of time or something like that. We can push that EOT back out of this database, back to our IC, back into our main database, and then we can actually push that out to a third party. And then they can then sign off to say that that variation or request for variation is approved. That gives us real-time visibility